Hello, 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 chaps. It's turn 46, and I lost the battle on top of this fort. However, he didn't exactly win it either, so the walls are still intact. He only has about 60 units there. Now, it's important to remember that I actually lost this battle because... oh yeah, here's the battle results. So, interpreting this, he only lost 2 mages, but they are slow to recruit and quite good mages. He lost a lot of his chaff, but the animals, many of them retreated. 25 lion warriors died, but he still has, how many is there? 43 left, which is quite a lot. All of the long dead horsemen died. The pygmies mostly survived, and they did a lot of damage. They did as much damage as the lion warriors, although more to Coenis than anything important. Sacred lions. The sacred lions mostly died, and the war elephants mostly died. What did I lose? Well, I lost 2 necromancers, one of whom was going to die of disease shortly anyway. So I really only lost 1 mage in that sense. I lost 100 Aka Onis, and they're quite valuable. And you can tell that they're valuable because they did a lot of kills. They did quite a lot of kills. Actually, looking at this, they're less valuable than the man for man compared to the Kuro Onis, or even the normal Onis. I had them in their own group, I think, and that allowed them to throw flames a lot, and maybe throwing flames wasn't a great choice. The Dionis killed 59 enemies, the Hanyas killed 3, the Mound King killed 3 with a fire bolus. I think this is where I had him, a Mound King with a fire bolus. But yeah, how did he kill 3? What the hell? Okay, let's have a look at this. 3 kills in melee. Why? Why was he in melee? That's so strange. Anyhow, let's actually watch the battle. So this is a bugged battle report. It's not accurate, and it shows me winning quite decisively, but I lost. So I don't know how that bug even exists. It's a very strange bug, but I'm not mad because I'm used to it. So some of the stuff that happens in this battle is going to be reasonably accurate. And one thing that I definitely screwed up was, after casting Darkness, this guy fell asleep for ages, obviously. So he couldn't cast Wailing Winds. So I definitely need more Skullstaffs to have 2 different casters for these spells. Anyhow, let's just play it. So the animal chaff is already routed. Are these bodyguards? No, they're being summoned by spells. The pygmies are doing loads of damage. Is this Holger the Headless Knight? Yeah, the Headless Hoburg Hero. He's pretty good. 24 defense skill, pretty cool. Is that a reference to Medieval? I feel like it almost could be, maybe not quite. These guys did quite a bit of damage with their throw flames, it looked like. And now we have a grand melee with the Lion Warriors crushing everything on this side, but over here things are a bit more even. And where's my Pretender God? Yes, my Pretender God is round the back here, and he jumps in, kills a Lion King. And then unfortunately he then gets tar-pitted by a bunch of crappy summons. And he only has... and look at these stats. In Darkness with Blood Surge and Berserk, 36 attack skill. This is what Repel looks like. You may not like it, but this is what peak Repel Titan looks like. So we have Darkness up. What are these guys casting? Wailing Winds finally comes out. Is she decaying? No. Invulnerability. Well, we're not going to see her cast anything else because the battle's over. Let's actually... I want to see the details of these repels. Repel value 42 versus defense value of 9. That's pretty funny. Anyway. So in this version of the battle he lost a lot more, and of course he didn't win the battle. So, but what actually happened, which I think is what's displayed here, is this. It's kind of annoying. But this is okay. I mean, I didn't lose that much. I lost a fair amount of valuable demons. I lost one mage. He lost probably just as much as I did. Anyhow, it's nothing I can't reinforce. And indeed, I'm breaking siege once again, this time with a separate Darkness and Wailing Winds caster. I also changed the gear on this guy a little bit to a lead shield instead of the fire shield. That's actually a mistake. I'm going to go back to the fire shield. I was just worried that he might die to magic if they script something like Soul Slay, but they don't even have Astral, and I don't know what magic MR negate spells they'd even be using. So I'm going to put Iron Will in the script instead of Reinvigoration, because I noticed he wasn't at very high fatigue after finishing his script just before Reinvigoration. And I'm going to turn up with these guys. The Naminari is taking the Amano Jarkus to this province. They only have 8 map move in their armour, but the rest of these demons are able to zoom along, and they shall join the rest of them. So this is another fairly decently sized force. How many did I have in the original battle? In the original battle I had 352. In this break siege I will have 174. So not a huge decline in numbers, and we can see that he's unlikely to have very many reinforcements. Maybe there'll be some troops here that can rush into here, but this connection is not a road, so I doubt he'll be able to reinforce through 3 provinces from here. Actually, he could, and that would be pretty devastating, but, you know, I'm willing to give it another try. And maybe this guy can cast something vicious with his Death Fall. I don't know, I'm already casting Darkness and Soul Vortex. No, and Wailing Winds, but I'll cast Skeletal Legion, and I'll cast... I don't know, I'll just cast Fort of Skeletons a whole bunch. Why not? And he can go on at advancing cast spells. Is there anything else to say? Well, these guys. I could cast some fire elementals, but I just don't think it would be that amazing to do that. So I'm just going to have them do quintuple Horde of Skeletons. It's so sad that they nerfed scaling on spells so much. Yeah. I don't think that was necessary. So that was kind of exciting to see a big battle like that finally happen. I think that's the first big battle of this game, except there was another big battle where Hinnom tried to defeat my sieges of Hinnom. Now, these are my forces, right? And these are his forces. And you might notice that his forces are pretty small in number comparatively. So I think maybe he was hoping that this guy would carry him in this battle, because he is, you know, he's got a kind of a big dog and stuff. Goodness, I don't think much of this gear. Like, Iron Face is kind of a meme item. An Athame, like single Athame, no repel, no two-double weapon shenanigans. I mean, actually the rest of it, I guess this is an okay setup. I just think it's a bit memey. What's the deal with the extra blood magic? I guess magic resistance. Huh, that's pretty good. So yeah, this is an okay... This gear's okay, I guess. It's not how I would do it. And we're seeing some Banefire deaths. Let's go down to this level. Aiko casts Banefire and deleted someone. Someone took 53 damage. I love Banefire, it's such a cool spell. And the funny thing is, right, this guy casts Hellpower. Oh my goodness, his shield got destroyed. I didn't notice that. I think the Astral Horrors actually destroyed his shield, because they have armor negating attacks, which can actually destroy shields. That's so unlucky. Let's watch that again. When did the shield get destroyed? So the Mantis turns up with 4 Mantis Claws. His shield's intact. Still intact now. Yeah, I just outnumbered them so much there was nothing really they could do. Like, what are these guys going to do? They still have their Alquills equipped. Goodness, he must be desperate. He's losing Alquills. No reason to take them into battle. Oh, that's a Cohen. They're kind of valuable to kill. So he casts flight on himself, so now he can fly onto the back lines. But maybe he was flying attack close or something. Did he start this battle with a limp? I can't remember. Yeah, it looks like this is the one that actually... Does it say it here? It looks like this one must have been the one that armor negating. Maybe that destroyed the shield. Very, very unlucky. That must have been a huge exploding roll. And at that point he runs away because everyone else is dead and that HP routs him. So how much did I lose? I probably lost a fair amount of my valuable Shikomes. No, I only lost 8 Shikome. So that's fine. And look what he lost. He lost 5 Nature 2 mages, 3 Amis, whatever they were, a couple of unimportant commanders, 2 of these guys not important, a Cohen moderately quite costly, 250 gold. This guy lost his shield, and he lost some chaff. So I'm going to storm the castle. Except, am I going to take everyone with me? Yeah, I'm actually going to turn up with all of these. And that might be a mistake. I might actually be better off leaving them outside and just attacking with these ones to cast Banefire on this golden idol. I'm a bit worried that about whether or not I'll be able to kill this golden idol. And maybe I actually shouldn't be bringing these. You might actually be better off leaving this guy outside. But we shall see. If I lose the battle because the golden idol just survives everything, it only has earth and blood, so I don't think it'll kill everything. Probably won't kill many mages. And I'll probably clear out the rest of the fortification. I need someone to maintain siege. Yeah, this guy's maintaining siege. What else is going on? So this army is going to keep moving towards Hinnom, because Hinnom is the thing that matters. Taking Hinnom is what matters. And it's also kind of more efficient. Let's say I take these provinces, then I move towards Hinnom, and then I have to come back here. I would rather go to here and then move back towards my other potential enemies of Machaka and Rus. Because if I go there first, I can go here second, where I want to be in the future. Whereas if I go here, like here and here first, then I'll have to maybe go there later to take this fort. And then I'll go here like the third time, step 3. So it'd take longer and it'd be a mess, I think, to do it that way. I would rather take Hinnom up here first. What else happened? So I cast Voice of Apsu and found this. So I'm going to cast it a few more times. There is now a mermage here. So he has built a laboratory and he's trained a mermage. I am just getting... This guy is just... I'm losing 2 auto gems a turn. I'm losing 17 gold. It's just funny, I guess. I'll probably lose a temple in a bit as well. So that's funny. Machaka, though, is definitely a problem. Like, I've weathered this fairly well, but he did do a lot of damage. And this was probably only half of his forces. And he still has most of his mages. So, he's done a lot of damage so far. He did lose, 25 Lion Warriors? They are quite valuable. War Elephants are quite valuable, but he probably wanted to lose out on their maintenance anyway. And the last thing to say about this turn is... Were these events interesting? None of these events were interesting. The last thing about this turn is that I need to stop blood hunting this province, because it's extremely high unrest. The last thing to say about this turn is that I have gold. I actually have 800 gold now. And I think that's partly due to one of these events. Yeah, 156 of it is just from a random event. But the rest is 650 gold. Is just from having more territory and lower maintenance. Lower maintenance, that's a bit unfortunate. It means my people died. But I can consider training some more mages. And I think I will. I think I'll actually... I'm undecided as to whether I should train only Shugo or Naminaris. Well, I don't have the death gems to upgrade the Naminaris. So what I would be doing with Naminaris is I'd be getting more research. I feel like my research is really good, and I'm not even sure what my priorities are for research. Like, why am I researching evocation level 7? I'm not actually sure. If I'm going to get this, I don't really know. Is this good? 15 damage attacks? That does not seem great. Firestorm. Well, that's not good because I don't have fire resistance. But it would be good against someone who didn't if I just rock up with a single Dione. Rain of Stones. Hey, I've never cast this spell before. And my Earth Random Dione can cast it. That's kind of cool. I might definitely be casting them. Stygian Rains. I could get a... That's actually 50. This would shut down archers pretty hard. This would be very useful, and I think a Yama Uber might be able to cast it. Yeah, a Yama Uber with a Skull Staff could actually cast this with an overcast. They might feeble-mind themselves afterwards, but that's fine because you just give someone else their Skull Staff. This is actually very good. So Stygian Rain is useful. Wind of Death. I think it would actually... Well, Dione, it wouldn't really matter if it's effective then. So this is a cool Dione raiding spell. This is a pretty cancerous spell for me to use on the air random Dione. Cloud of Death. I think that's an okay spell. Don't really care about it though. Ice Strike. Don't really care about that. Acid Storm. Can't cast it. Fault Lightning. Doesn't really matter. Cannot be cast in caves. I didn't know that. Does that apply to Thunderstrike as well? You can cast it, maybe... Can only be cast in caves. That's cool. That must be a mod thing, though. But Thunderstrike can be cast in caves, but Orb Lightning can't. I mean, not Orb Lightning, Fault Lightning. Why? What is this? What does that mean? Anyhow. So, Evocation, Stygian Rains, and Wind of Death. Very good spells. That's definitely why... I definitely knew that was why I was doing that. Because I'm definitely not a crap player. Then I'll get this. Tesso. Are Tesso good? It kills people's temples. So again, this is a sort of cancer spell. I'd rather spend my fire gems on alchemy, to be honest. And I can get spectres for more astral. That would be nice. But I don't want to spend the gems on that, so I'd rather empower people in astral than spend more of my death gems. This gets me a Sea King's Court. That's quite nice. Construction 6, that's going to have loads of useful things in it. Alteration 7 is going to have Marble Warriors. And it probably has some other useful stuff. It has Bone Grinding. I'm not sure if I can actually cast this with any of my mages. Well, I'll get Marble Warriors. That'll be useful. My Pretender God could probably... The entire battlefield. Not sure if that would be useful. My Pretender God could... I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing research-wise. But that's why I have loads of research. So that it doesn't matter if I research the wrong things. But that's turn 46. Quite an exciting one. See you chaps next time. Hello chaps. It's turn 46 again. There's two things that I forgot to mention. Well, firstly, the Flesh Eater. I'm making a Flesh Eater for in exchange for two death gems, if he has those. Or 3 other gems if you have no death gems. And I'm being generous because I think it's in my long-term strategic interest for to survive a bit longer. So I'm making a Flesh Eater. Another thing I forgot to say about this battle is that under Darkness, Lion Warriors have 10 attack skill, which means they can actually hit this guy. When he's Berserk, his defense goes down by 5, which brings it to 15, and then Darkness would actually bring it up by another 4. So actually I was wrong. Lion Warriors probably can't hit him reliably, but then they'd harass his defense skill down quite a lot. But then they'd get repelled a lot. So maybe I can use this guy against Lion Warriors. If this guy was just a throwaway thug or an expensive summon, I would send him to Prague Siege by his own. And because he could probably beat this sieging force by himself. But I'm just not going to risk it. And that's just a little addendum to turn 46. Hello, chaps. It's turn 47, and I stormed Hinnom, and the Koani routed with barely any of them dying, possibly because of this guy's fear, and then everyone else routed because the Koani were routing. So that was stupid and unsurprising, and next time I'm going to go in with just all of my Dione. So this army's finally got to Hinnom, and it's going to turn up and instantly one turn crack it. It's almost cracked already, and then I'll just storm with however many Dione I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dione. This guy has stone skin boots. Weird. So a lot of Dione, and I might send in these ones to cast Bane Fire as well, but it might do friendly fire. It's not the most accurate spell. Another thing I might have to do is I might have to wait a turn to actually finish Hinnom off, because I'm forging 4 Smashers. The Smashers are, of course, this item, which does 20 guaranteed damage, regardless of armor, to inanimates, such as statues. So I'm sending my Gem Scouts back to this province, which has a laboratory in it, and hopefully I don't lose this province overnight, and that will mean, in fact, I might stay here. I might actually patrol on this province, just to make sure of that, just so I can pick up the runes, just so I can pick up the Smashers next turn. But if I'm staying here to defend the province, that means I don't need to send my Gem Scouts, because I'll have the ordinary commanders there, so they can hide. In this province still, Hinnom is moving his armies back to defend Hinnom, which is nice. I hoped he would do that. It's a lot more convenient for me, but I am nonetheless recklessly raiding a whole bunch of provinces. This one, this one, this one, this one. Basically everywhere is getting raided with these little forces. Down here, I lost the PD battle here and the PD battle here. I wasn't defending. When I broke siege on Perenna, no battle occurred. He just had a scout left over. And so I'm now reinforcing it. Another huge... I think this is more demons than I had when he beat me the first time here. And I've got Darkness and Wailing Winds, both cast at the same time now. This guy is here so that he can cast Bloodlust. So I better actually script him to do that. And I've got the usual suspects for my other mages. I'm also turning 2 of them into Hanyas. Decided to make a couple more Hanyas, and I've got her casting water elementals just for good measure. And my frog was killed by a mind hunt, so I'm going to teleport this guy, who is doubly empowered in Aspirant. He's going to teleport inside this fort, and I think I'm going to keep receiving mind hunts. So there's an 80% that the mind hunter next turn will get feeble-minded. I don't know who controls it. It's probably Hinnom. Or is it? I don't know. I think it might be Rus. Speaking of which, Rus. I'm going to ignore this force because it can't cross the river and I have a nice, perfectly decent force patrolling here. Rus. Also, isn't it nice that I barely have a border with Rus? In fact, I might keep it that way. I might actually not do that. I'm going to just stay researching. Rus, as I keep on saying. Let's patrol here to get rid of this unrest. It's really bad. Rus might attack me next time. He's got troops here, so why would he have troops here if not to attack me? So I'm sending in my Pretender God, and I'm sending in a bunch of Koanis so that they can rout, and then my Pretender God can get HP routed by them. So I didn't really think that through very much, did I? Now that I, voice it out loud. Especially since I just did that in Hinnom's capital last turn. It's starting to feel a bit low IQ. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I should just be researching with this Alco, or this guy sends the Koani somewhere useful, or just leaves them where they are, or patrols to get rid of this unrest. And yes, I'm sure he's building a fort here. Such a troll move. But the worst thing about this troll move is it actually works. So crazy. yes, and just something to say about this. If you go into the retreat details, I don't think anyone died except for 40 Kooni, and I also lost 30 Shikomes. So it's not really a serious loss. It's embarrassing, and it's a huge delay, but it's not that bad. Is he going to move here with both of his armies? He might actually move here with both of his armies. How much siege strength do I really need? I might actually have to stay here. This is getting a bit iffy, actually. I don't know whether to stay there. I want to have enough troops to fight both of these armies. So I want to be able to defend both of these provinces. So let's start out by patrolling here, and then let's move away the crucial casters. Except I also want a death caster. Crap, this is getting confusing. So I want him to cast darkness, and he'll have to use bonus gems to overcast it, because I don't have a spare skull staff anymore. So he's going to stay here and cast darkness. Oh, you can't overcast darkness, I forgot that. Which means I'm going to have to miss out on the 2 Shikome from this guy. Oh well. So this guy's going to patrol here to cast darkness. This one is going to cast Skeletal Legion. Where is it? Skeletal Legion. I really like saying that. Except we don't have gems now. Oh boy, this is annoying. This is really annoying. Okay, this guy's going to move here to cast darkness. And so is... it's hard to decide what I'm doing. This guy is going to raid here. I want to raid. And these chaps are going to move here to siege. So how much siege strength do I have here? I have 323. Now the guys that are moving... So this is like a few hundred. I guess I won't raid this province. Or I will, but I'll just use a couple of these to do it with. And they can... I can just do a raid with that. Right. And I better give her some accompaniment, or she's likely to die before she can do anything. So yes, I want to defend this province so that I'll definitely be able to pick up the smashers next turn. Goodness, it really is getting a bit complicated playing this game. This chap doesn't need those because I'm standing on top of a laboratory anyway. And I might as well do this because PD is cheap. Actually, now this guy can turn up here. I don't know, how much does that leave me with? It leaves me with several hundred Kooni and some pretty decent spells and mages. I should be able to win this battle. I think so. The problem is that he could send both forces here. So I think I'll actually keep both of these ones here. Oh, it's so hard to decide. This is why people doomstack, because you don't have to decide these things. And here I will have 70, 70, 70, 210, 410, 500, and some of them are bigger, and even the small ones. That, so yes, that should be able to 1-turn crack it. So so difficult to decide. But that's the layout of this turn. Pretender God fighting here, the usual jumble of stuff fighting here, two battles, two provinces that I want to defend up here, one of them because it contains a laboratory that I want to use to transmit smashers to my Dione to then kill the statue inside here. And I'm doing a bunch of unimportant raiding here, and this Basil King is being annoying, and that's really it. Turn 47. There we are. Hello, chaps. It's been quite an eventful turn. So I shall start by going through all the messages and then telling you what my next moves are. So we got 2 death gems from for our little berserker axe that we sent him. Made some kings and some hanyas and some shikome. But the interesting thing up here is that we cast teleport with our double astral empowered Dione, who's wearing an astral booster, and we cast teleport on this fort. You might remember it, and he what's the word? Feeble-minded 2 mages. Now I think they're probably actually, judging by some messages I received on Discord. Microphone's over there. Judging by some messages I received on Discord, this is actually his Pretender God, and since this is DE, they'll actually heal that. They'll have recuperation, so they won't stay feeble-minded. But it's still a nice little victory. Events, well, we breached the walls of Hinnom once again. We've got some uninteresting events. And then there's the battles, which were very good for me this turn. So I better start by showing you where they are. So last turn I divided my forces between these 2 provinces. I thought it was fairly even. I think these groups fled away from this battle here. So here's the one next to Hinnom, because I wanted to maintain control of this laboratory so that I could get my shatter hammers onto the Dione to move them onto Hinnom to attack the statue the next turn. So here we are. We've got a crap ton of co-oni. We've got my prophet here. Is that my prophet? No, he's just someone with a bane blade. And his bodyguards. We've got some of these good mages. We ran out of... Why don't I have blood slaves in this battle? Oh, I do. They're just not on the display. Right, they're right here. So we've got Bloodlust, got End of Weakness, maybe? I'm not sure if I cast it. And I've got Darkness. Looks like I didn't have Wailing Winds for this one. Skeletal Legion. So we have Pierce Resistance. And you can see there's little bits of fatigue that have creeped in from that, along with some limping. I wonder how many people got that. Limps? No, Battle Fright. Lost an arm. Okay, so looks like the Skeletal Legion damage was pretty harmless. I think it's just fatigue, actually, isn't it? So yeah, that one guy's casting Horror Mark. And what was that spell? I don't even know. Okay, so now this is them buffed up. They've got Pierce Resistance, 10 Protection, and 20 Attack from these buffs now. 20 damage. And here's Darkness. So now let's compare this guy, this Chad. 9 HP, 10 Protection, 15 and 16 Skill, and 20 damage. Compared to this guy, same damage, but like vastly inferior attack and defense skills, and obviously better HP and protection. But just look at this. They just get obliterated. And something that's very nice about Darkness is that it's quite hard to get Dark Vision onto a Melkart. I think it's not even possible, actually, in the base game, but I think in DE that there will be some items that give it. Maybe there's some items that grant vision in Dark Vision in the base game. I don't know what they are, though. So this guy now is at 14 attack skill, which is actually lower than the defense skill of these guys by 2. So he's like hitting 30% of the time. His defense skill is only 10. Wait, that's a Rephite Warrior. His defense skill is only 12, so he's getting hit most of the time and only hitting some of the time. See, there's a miss! And here we have some Banefire casts. That's pretty fancy. Now, I believe one of our guys got horror marked. I'm not sure who it was, though. Yeah, this guy is now horror marked. So I shall see if he actually gets attacked by the horrors. I don't think he does, though. Ooh. Well, they all get set on fire. That's pretty painful, because they have fire vulnerability, so they're all going to die. So those fireballs are working very well. But the horrors, it looks like they're attacking... It looks like the horrors are going after this guy. Wow, these fireballs are really painful. If he had more mages, this could have been a rout, actually. So the Koani aren't having a good time hitting this guy because he's got fear and all. It's a wonder they haven't routed. I guess they did rout. This is why they routed. And by now the losses have been too great and everyone's just running away. Weirdly, they haven't actually managed to hit this guy. Oh, I guess his protection... Oh, he's ethereal, that's why. So the question is, did we kill this guy with... I guess I didn't have these ones on Advance and Cast. Or did I? Yeah, I've got this one on Advance and Cast. And this Hanya... Are they called Greater Hanyas? Yeah, Hanyas. These two Hanyas were on Advance and Cast. So they should ideally be casting Banefire, but they're actually casting Decay instead. So the Koanial route, finally. This guy's coming in to attack, which I find very strange. Ah, these claws are magic, and they're pretty high damage right now. And there's two of them. So his attack skill, his defense skill is nothing, he can't repel. The ethereal doesn't work and he only has 19 protection. So he finally dies. Oh wow, we actually were casting Banefire. And it didn't really matter because it's okay to have friendly fire on the Soulless Warriors. How old is she going to end up? Oh, she died of old age. But anyway, that's Polmania. As you can see, a very, very crushing victory, and I don't think they actually had anywhere they could retreat to, so actually everything died. Let's have a look. Yeah, I took all the surrounding provinces, so they all died. All of this died. The next battle was in Spring Spires. This is just a small army. I don't know. It's just this small army, who cares really? This is a province raid just against PD. This is another province raid against PD. And this is a similar battle in Hinnom, so as you may recall that he had two armies. And I arranged to fight both of them. What's this green stuff? Why is there green stuff? I think did he just buff these guys with Legions of Steel? Yeah, these guys got like Wooden Warriors and Legions of Steel, instead of these guys getting it. So, yeah, this guy's not the best player. Not being rude, just saying it because it's true. So I cast Darkness, probably cast some other stuff too. No, I didn't cast Skeletal Legion. Some Koani managed to slip by and nobble the mages. And I think when you fight on a fort, you can actually retreat inside the fort. So he will have probably gained an AMI. Inside his fort, he may have gained an AMI and some unimportant troops. Wait, how is it? Why does it say 118 dead and 157 survive? Oh right, it's all the Avite heavy archers. That's actually quite useful in the fort. What he could have done is he could have broken siege with his statue at the same time, and that might have actually beaten me. I'm not sure though. We'll see. I have my plans to defeat the statue, as you know. Here's the Necromancer. This is another PD raid here. And my next move, well, I'll talk about my next moves later. Norville. In Norville, Roos attacked. Like I said last turn, it was kind of obvious he was about to attack here. So firstly, let's have a look at what he's got. Well, he's got these guys. They're not sacred, but they are berserkers with 220 damage attacks. They go up to 23 when they're berserk. You've got this guy, who is really nothing special. You've got this guy, an F3 with a lot of air gems, so no guess for what he's going to do. And you've got this guy with a Herald Lance and some stuff. So really, it's really the only interesting thing are the troops and these guys. They're the air elementals. Because what I did in this fight was I actually scripted Iron Skin. You can see it being cast there, and that got rid of the shock resistance here. So I'm on neutral. I'm on no resistance to shock. So after scripting that, I'm really strong, like against mundane attacks, but shock is a different story. So I fly and kill this guy who is he'd already used his air gems. And then in the air elementals come. Now what happened is that I was getting stunned some of the time, but not all of the time, by these air elementals. And yeah, I have 49 regen a turn, so, and bleeding, profuse bleeding, that went away too. So I have 31 protection, so the 20 or 23 damage is not really going to change anything. Perhaps somewhat luckily, I didn't get any afflictions in this battle. And with that, I did actually lose these guys in the back to air elementals, but it's a couple of slow to recruit expensive mages lost for him, and it's 33 bear warriors who are not that expensive. It's like 500 gold that he lost. So it's a nice little victory to have basically for free. I just plonk over my flying pretender god. Easy does. Easy as. So here's another Province PD. Okay, so they reclaimed this fort that I left a single co only sieging. But the advantage of that is now I get to see what they have there. So they have 3 mages and a small number of troops. And against that I'm bringing 4 mages, one of which is big, and a large number of troops. Let's actually have a look at the siege attack. So 49 siege. So it's going to take ages to siege this down, actually. That's unfortunate. But when I do capture it eventually, assuming I do, oh my goodness, 200 gold per turn. And do I have fire? Yeah, of course I have fire, but I don't have astral. This finally, oh my goodness, I empowered another Dione and astral today. Well, I'm going to stop doing that. I think it's probably good to have 2 empowered Dione, just so I have earth/astral for forging. I'm forging a crystal matrix just for a rainy day in the future. I'm going to have the ability to have a crystal matrix communion, just because it's potentially useful. And I have lots of earth and astral to forge that anyway without really worrying. But yeah, I don't need to empower any more Dione because I have these guys now. Yes. Very good. 200 gold per turn, man. 200. And here's the other province raids. Nothing terribly exciting. Anyhow, I don't know why I never thought of this before, but I've realised that this guy is actually almost certainly building a fort. And, well, I looked back in my videos to find out when he captured this province, and I've actually left it too late. The fort, assuming he built a laboratory first and then the fort, which is what it looks like, of course, the fort will be completed when I open the next turn. So I am flying this guy over, my pretender god, and I am forging a pills of water breathing here, and I think I'm empowering another Dionian air. And then they'll both be able to forge pills of water breathing. But it's basically too late. Now the problem with allowing this guy to have a fort here is that he will eventually be able to train, not these guys, but his own early Atlantean mages, who are Water 2 with a random. Actually no, they're Water 2 with 2 randoms. And yeah, you can't fight that as a non-water nation, because they can just spam loads of water elementals. And they'll eventually be able to build up enough force to actually besiege this fort. So that's a throne. And it's Atlantis in the water, so I have no option to actually defeat this if I let them train loads of mages and stuff here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm actually going to have to send my pretender god over here, give him the pills of water breathing. I could send him here, so that he can... Because the pills of water breathing allow you to have leadership. They give you... he can't actually get there. I guess that's why I wasn't sending him there. I'm moving underwater. Yeah. So the pills of water breathing, it would have been nice to attack with some Koani behind me for siege strength, but I'll have to wait a few turns to forge more pills of water breathing and stuff. Because the pills of water breathing give you 100 size points, which is enough for a Mound King to lead his entire complement underwater. And they'll have enough siege strength. That's 100 siege strength right there, so that'll be nice. But what was I going to say? So I hope that my pretender god, with a few minor alterations to his gear, I'll give him the cold resistance armor, and he won't need any magic resistance armor, because I can't imagine what these guys would cast that has magic resistance negates. Let's actually have a look. This isn't MR negates. This is difficult to resist with magic resistance, but they don't have the death random. Cleansing water. You can't do it underwater. Ice strike, not magic resistance. Cold resistance offers no protection. Oh, but this isn't underwater either. I wish there was a filter to only look at underwater spells. Where are the underwater spells? Are you telling me there isn't an underwater water evocation? What is this? What? Okay. Water, is it just, are we seriously just looking at water strike? Is this cold resistance? A torrent of water magic. Oh, so it looks like this is just magic damage, but it's not armor negating. So actually I don't even need... Oh, hang on, wait a second. The encased targets are protected from strikes, but must break free. And while encased, they'll be chilled and numbed. Strength roll versus 12 reduces the number of encased points. Strength roll. Okay, so in this province with 9 Dominion strength. This one also has 10. So he'll have like... He'll have 34 strength. I think that should be pretty decent. In fact, Encased in Ice might not even work. I'll have to check. Maybe I'm just forging these water pills as a total waste, but I'll check next turn to see if... I'll do some checking when I don't have the video open to see to see if I really should be doing this. And I was going to storm the castle this turn with this guy, scripted to retreat with 5 Coney in front to bait arrow fire away from her, but I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to send 2, and they're going to have a proper script. And it's not going to be a script that's calculated to actually defeat what's inside. It's just going to be a script intended to kill anything that's not fire resistant that's inside this fort. Because to be honest, these fire mages don't strike me as that strong. Why is she not casting... What's the difference here? Body of Flames, Phoenix Power, Summon Fire, and... What? Oh, right, okay. Okay, right, that makes sense. So that should just clean out anything that's not fire resistant. It might run into some... I mean, they'll probably both die, and the fire gems might get completely wasted. But like Ezekiel will just kill everything. But hopefully some fire elementals get past and kill some enemy troops and mages or whatever. We'll see. It's not really... I just don't feel like these guys are terribly valuable, so I don't really care. Another thing I could do is... No, I don't want to send in anything more valuable than that. So that's my plan for this turn, just to scout what's inside and hopefully kill some of it with fire elementals. Next turn, here's the real deal. Smashers. And maybe these are stupid because I could just be casting... Maybe I could just set these guys to advance and cast spells and they would just cast Shatter the spell on the Golden Idol by themselves. But these hammers were cheap. I'll make them anyway, these smashers. And I'm not raiding down here. Who cares about that? What else is going on? So I'm empowering another Mound King in blood. Here's my first empowered Mound King researching over here. Not researching, blood hunting. What else do I have going on? Nothing special. Oh yeah, and as my gold income has slightly increased, I've been able to... Well, here's the Necromancer I showed you before. But here's an Oni Shugo. I'm actually making another Oni Shugo. And he's going to build some temples, probably up here. And, yes, I'm empowering one of my Naminaris in nature. Because I want to be able to forge nature boosters. And I don't want to have to use this guy's precious, valuable time to do it. And I can't really say what else is noteworthy about this turn. Maybe, actually I know what I should do. I should probably... I'm going to risk the Robe of Callias the Druid. And... because honestly, I'm not sure it's that amazing. I'm going to risk it, and I'm going to send... Sanako the Hanya. I might send her underwater, actually. Yeah, she can go underwater at the same time as my Pretender God. I think that's a good idea. Just to be on the safe side. And I don't think I have anything else to say about this turn. Oh yes, except down here, the enemy seems to have got bored and left. So I'm going to raid them. Got to raid here with some demons, got to raid here with some demons, got to raid here with some... and a Hanya. And I have a raid here with a Hanya and some demons. So that's that. I've also stopped patrolling on this fort, which might be a bit foolhardy, but oh well. 390 unrest. Just a nice little casual bit of unrest there. So that is turn 48. Quite an eventful one. I shall see you chaps next time. Also, my Dominion spread here, so I'm kind of tempted to attack it. But without getting more shock resistance gear, that would probably just be begging to be killed by a whole bunch of lightning evocations. So I'll see you. Hello, chaps. It's turn 49, and Atlantis has built a fort here, which I was expecting, but I'm quite puzzled that it went all the way to a fortress with no intermediary palisades. That is odd. Maybe he used a ritual, but I don't know why he would wait so long to use a ritual, and why it would go off at the same turn that a palisade would normally have been completed. So I don't know what the deal is with that. And he will eventually probably try to take this throne from me. And he'll use lots of water mages, he'll have a geared Basalt King, of course, and he'll have some underwater troops. Now, my plan to oppose that is probably a lot of water and air items to give water breathing to, you know, probably the good old reliable Hanyas, so that they can just spam a bunch of skeletons, and I'll have obviously some Dione thugs. I think they'll be okay underwater. Might need to give them a burning pearl and have them build repel, although that won't work against water elementals. Actually, I'll have to gear them to have loads of water resistance. Not water resistance. Yeah, physical resistance against water elementals. I might also do a gift of water breathing to bring a bunch of Koani underwater. I think poor amphibian is not too devastating for attacking defense skills. So Koani are pretty powerful for size 1 units. Single pills of water breathing can bring 100 of them. So that'll be nice, and I could even recruit these guys, but they're just totally garbage. And Sea King's Court, yes, eventually I'll have Sea King's Court. And I should have 2 of those, actually, by the time it comes to eventually attack this. Once I take Hinnom, I'll probably take these with water-walking Dione. I say once I take Hinnom, but I'm storming the castle with everything except for these guys who are commanding all the Koani. So I'm storming with only mages and bodyguards and this force of elite troops. Let me just check that everyone's starting behind the line of elite troops, though. Because I don't want to screw up here. Don't know why he has gems, but I can't be bothered to take them off him either. We have a stray Hanya somewhere. Ah, there she is. So yes, our plan here is horde of skeletons. Why is this still... okay, like this. Come on. Double horde of skeletons, Bane Fire eventually, advancing cast spells. I've given the little hammers to my Dione, but they're on attack and summon attack large monsters after casting some self-buffing spells. I've got Bloodlust and Darkness. Darkness should be very important to make the Son of Ezekiel manageable in melee. I've got Divine Blessing, obviously, and then this guy's going to stay back and cast spells, unlike the other Dione. So with the Shatter effect here, should be able to kill the Golden Idol. The only question is whether these guys, when they all die, whether that will cause an HP rout. And I don't think it will, because how many is this? This is 31 times 15, so that's 465 HP. Now, if you add these up, I've got 50, 150, 158. It's getting a bit hard already. 194 or something. Let's just call that 250, and then like, I can't be bothered with this. 300, 400. I've got almost as much HP just from the mages, and then we'll have some skeletons as well and the bodyguards. So even if that line of berserkers does die, I don't think it will necessarily cause a general rout. So hopefully we are able to clear out everything, kill the Son of Ezekiel, kill the Golden Idol, take the fortress. I shall see though. It would be very annoying. I'll be really screwed over if I can't take it. I'll be screwed, really. And this guy is going to hide on this province. No, hide. And this chap is going to sneak back, because I don't need all of these gems, really. So that's what there is to say against Hinnom. Also, I'm besieging this fort. I haven't got much siege strength on it right now, 77, but these guys are going to reinforce it with 274, and then it'll be breached not long afterwards. And we have some good mage support, all of the good stuff, even Dione. Although he can cast darkness, actually, so I'm going to ferry him over some death gems, just in case. This guy better be at the back of the battlefield. Oh, why am I using these guys as bodyguards? Please don't tell me I'm still using these guys as bodyguards. Okay, she's got fire resistance. Right, we must make sure not to do that. So, Roos. Roos is not really doing anything, but he's obviously preparing some minor mischief for me over here. This chap should actually stay here and enter the Temple of Darkness. Although he might get mind hunted if he just stays there, so maybe I won't bother with the Temple of Darkness. Shades are nothing special anyway. Machaka, yes, Machaka turned up. I raided these provinces with little Koani parties. And in 2 of them, Machaka turned up with these. And because this one is named Jojo, I'm quite tempted to cloud trapeze in my Dione and name them the villains from Jojo, like, what is it? It's Dio and that sort of thing. Dio, Vanilla Ice. How many can I remember? The infamous baby stand, whole horse. You know, it's quite funny. I could actually attack them with like the villains from the JoJo series. That would be very funny. But ironically, after empowering them in air, they're really valuable and unusual, and I don't want to risk them, because what could happen is that they win this battle and then this whole army turns up from here and it has lion warriors and they just completely clobber him. That would be very embarrassing and annoying. So also, these provinces aren't even very valuable because I've put unrest in them, so who cares. My pretender god is just, you know, messing around. He's going to raid this province. Nothing special there. Because I don't know what else to do with him. I don't want to do anything particularly risky with him either. And in a bit, when I have construction 6, I think what I'll do... Actually, my research is terrible now because I have so many mages fighting. Hopefully it improves, so I might not be able to justify waiting for construction 6. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one, this mage, to do transmute fire. And I was going to wait until I could forge a skull booster, the fire booster, but actually I'm going to do it now because there's no point waiting. And the reason for that is that it's so I can spam some more temples, and it's so I can make some more demon priests like this guy, so that if my god does die, I can call him back. And that's about all there is to say for this turn, I believe. Machaka is being annoying. Roos is not being very annoying. Hinnom is going to be... I'll be very pleased if I can actually beat Hinnom, because his son of Ezekiel... let's look at the little... I had a scout attack onto this. Also, it was a bit of a gem-burning attack. So this guy nommed a whole bunch of slaves, and he also got pretty nastily... He will have got nastily horror-marked. I actually told this player, because this player seems a bit newbie, that Hellpower is generally a bad spell or a hard one to use properly, and that he should stop using it. But he still seems to be using it, so the nice thing about that is that Horror Mark is not really going to work very well, because his own guy is more horror marked. So this guy is using up his earth gems quite merrily. And this is what I need to kill. Oh, it only has 85 HP. I assumed it had way more HP than this, but it only has 85, so I'm not worried anymore about killing it, really. I thought it would be really hard to kill, but this won't be much of an issue. Now, Ezekiel, who is busy killing horrors with his lightning bolts, he could be a pretty tough nut to crack. In fact, he's going to be devastatingly effective. I mean, look at this. Wow, I hadn't actually paid much attention properly to this. This is incredible. He has 31 protection, 81 HP, 10% regen, Fear 5, Mist Form. But these attack and defense skills. I was thinking I have to kill him with my Dione. But they're actually going to really, really struggle to hit him, because he's only got he's got 32 defense skill. Wow, I didn't realise that it would be... The barrier is a pretty good shield. And he's going to be wailing away with this Athame as well. 2 times around. And his reinvigoration is higher than his encumbrance by a mile. I guess Hell Power does that, doesn't it? Hell Power probably gives you 4 reinvigoration. The Athame will reinvigorate him, so this is a really solid guy. 36 shock resistance, 30 fire resistance. He's not resistant to cold, but I don't have any water evocations. And he's not resistant to poison. I wonder if there's anything I can do about that. Probably not at this late stage. So yeah, he's very strong, but what I'm hoping is that he'll be distracted. Well, firstly, I'm hoping that I'll have... Well, really, I'm just hoping that he'll be a bit distracted by the horrors, and also I'm hoping that I'll just have so many mages that he won't be able to do that much. It also looks like he's scripted to cast spells, which is not too frightening. If he was scripted to hold an attack rear, that would be really, really scary. But he's probably going to be left on cast spells, in my opinion. Because as far as Hinnom knew, this was the turn he had to defend against my final attack. Actually, no, he probably would have assumed that wouldn't be the case, because he could see me with the army in the next province. So maybe he'll revamp his scripts to attack rear. I'm just going to assume that that's... In fact, in that case, I need to put my Prophet Dione further forward, as well as this guy. So these guys are really valuable. So I need to put them next to each other, and I probably need to have this guy just permanently summoning Horde of Skeletons nearby, just to keep them a bit safer from the skeletons, with the skeletons. So, yeah, hopefully maybe Azazel will actually HP route. So he's got 80 HP. Now the Golden Idol has 80. This guy has 65, but it's mindless, so it doesn't really count. These guys have 24 each. So I can't actually be bothered to do a proper calculation. No, if all of these guys die, Ezekiel, the son of... He's not Azazel, he's son of Ezekiel. Ezekiel should flee, as well as if the Golden Idol dies. Then he should flee from an HP route. So I'm optimistic about this storming of Hinnom, but it could definitely be a screw-up as well, another screw-up. And that's really all there is to say for turn 49. Got some big annoyances coming my way. Rus with his air mages and his mind hunts. I've got Machaka, just a strong power with good Machakan mages and these powerful thugs. Hinnom with his son of Ezekiel, huge attack and defense skills. What else is there? And of course Atlantis trying to take away my throne. That's pretty important too. Throne's very important. Because I will, if I beat Hinnom and hold even against Machaka and Rus, I will have 2 thrones from Hinnom's lands, but losing one of the 2 thrones I already have, I'll be down to 3. It won't be that amazing, and Atlantis will have 1. It'll be very, very, very annoying. Very annoying. But anyhow, that's turn 49.